Right.
He goes up against Vader. He goes up with Maul.
Right.
He's with Thrawn. Like, he's in huge situations.
Welcome to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel, and I am here in NostalgiaCon Houston with the legendary. We got Ezra Bridger, Taylor Gray. How you doing, man?
Doing so well. I'm trying to step into legendary shoes, but thank you for having me.
No, man. Ezra lives.
Ezra lives. Ezra's the coolest.
So what was it like? I guess, how old were you when you were doing Ezra Bridger?
Oh my gosh. We were talking about the other day on our podcast, really young. So if our 10-year was this last year of it coming out, we started 2 years before that, so 12 years ago. I was 19.
19?
Yeah.
So you kind of like grew up with Ezra a little bit. Like, obviously he was much younger in the show. What was it like seeing the evolution of Ezra from the first season to right before Ahsoka?
I thought it was so cool. I've been on a handful of other shows that get canceled before you get to 80 episodes. So you have all these plans for how you see the character growing and developing and evolving, and then the show ends and you don't get to see that out, and the beginning is for naught. Whereas with Ezra, it was so cool to go through all the dimensions of this character that is so fleshed out and strong and shows various sides of themselves and grows into something like the Jedi is. Because if you looked at just the first season, I don't think you would really get a good glimpse of who Ezra is. So it was really cool to like live with the character and grow with him.
Now, Ezra has this little arc, probably in the second, or maybe third, fourth, I would say before he gets to Darth Maul, but he starts to get a little bit darker. You know, it's starting to go that direction. What were your kind of thoughts when you were, because he starts off kind of like, ragtag, almost like an Aladdin kind of character.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when he was going darker during that time?
I loved it. And Dave knew that. I loved it. Sam Witwer was playing Maul. That's what I really think of. The end of that second season, that arc. And at the beginning of season 3, as he's like pushing walkers just off cliffs, I was like, oh, he's definitely going to go into a darker side. But this is my favorite thing about Ezra, is he's a flawed Jedi. Which we are all flawed people, and we're working out like who it is that we're going to be and how to be a good man in the world. And that was something that felt very parallel with Ezra's journey, and I really loved getting to explore that and sort of entertain that side of him.
Do you have anything in common with Ezra?
So much. I feel like I learned a lot about myself in tandem with playing Ezra. So it's about like who you're going to be in the world, and I think becoming a Jedi is a very introspective process, and that was sort of where I was at in my life.
Now, I have a little bit of a nerd question, because the way they were setting up Ezra, he was having a lot of different abilities that we have not seen Jedi have before, right? Especially with connecting with the animals
like an animal wrangler.
Now, do you think, in your conversations with Dave Filoni and the writers, obviously he's not Luke Skywalker status, right? But like, is he getting kind of close? Does he surpass Kanan?
My immediate answer is of course not. You can't pass your master, but I guess you can. I'm not the right person, but I'm always asking fans, like, this was my take on it. Once we got to the end and then I watched it, I was like, wait, Ezra's really strong? Like, because you're playing it and you know where he starts, that it wasn't necessarily registering where he was at. So then by the end of it, I was like, that's a pretty formidable Jedi.
Something's happened. What?
There's our boy Phil. There's our boy Phil. Phil was on the show.
Yeah. So he was getting formidable. Now, do you think? I don't know. So my thing is, when he took off at the season or series finale, when he gets the space whales to take him through, those things he was not supposed to be able to survive.
Yeah.
But we find out he survives. Obviously, in Ahsoka.
And with Thrawn. Thrawn is like, my thing is always like, I always compare it to sports. Like, how good is this basketball player? And they say they're a great defender. Well, wait till they guard LeBron, and now we're gonna see.
Right.
He goes up against Vader. He goes up with Maul.
Right.
He's with Thrawn. Like, he's in huge situations, and he survives it. So
and the all the sisters and brothers.
Exactly. And I'm not saying he
survived against Vader.
Beat them, but he survived.
Yeah, he survived Vader.
Exactly.
No one survives Vader.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, and young, and he gets even stronger. So, looking at it, I mean, he's got to be pretty strong.
So now that we're talking this out, he's actually getting pretty close to Luke. Because
right? I'm not.
No, we're not saying that. We're not claiming, but we're getting close.
You tell me. Like, the logic seems to be, he's getting strong. How strong? you tell me, but
Well, Anakin would be considered the top, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Anakin Prime, Clone War Anakin, right? So then I think Ezra's there. I have
love
to say.
it.
It's
I
not gonna-
love it.
Now, you've seen Ahsoka, I'm assuming, and season 2 is coming out soon. What were your thoughts of seeing Ezra return and the fan response to Ezra returning?
I mean, I'm overjoyed. I think it's so sweet because when the show ended, I remember there was a lot of conversation like, what did happen to him? And then
Right.
Dave let us in on the story that he's alive and it's all good. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then to see the fan response of them caring so much about a character that you've lived with for 6-7 years and developed from a kernel of nothing into a character that people are making shirts about, like he lives and he's around and we care where he's going. I'm just so stoked. And I think where it's going with Ahsoka, and you hear it's like Rebel Season 5 and 6, basically, like you're just getting more of the content of these characters. I think it's incredible, and I love that the fans have connected so strongly.
Now, if you were to change anything as far as like, I wish it would have done a little bit this way, is there anything you would have changed from your Rebels time?
Early on with Ezra, I wanted to play him stronger than he was. And it's something I hear, like fan sentiment. And Dave, I mean, the testament and all the credit is to him, where he was like, I know you're going against your instinct and you're having to play him a bit more petulant and young and like kind of annoying through that first season. But he's like, you have to do that so that we can grow to where he gets to. And I think that's a really beautiful part of not only Ezra's journey, but Rebels. Like, we see them as these flawed people that grow into something special. And if he started the way I wanted him to be, a little cooler and like, he's cocksure, but he's also just like confident, and he wasn't as like whiny, it wouldn't have worked as well.
That full journey to
that. So I would have changed it, but then when you look back at it, Dave was right, the show was right. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank your time talking with us, man. That's awesome. I have our panel with you on Sunday, so we'll talk more. You have a podcast, right?
We do. It's called Pot of Rebellion, and we have guests on from Rebels to people within the Star Wars world to just people who enjoy Star Wars who are our friends in the film industry. But it's Vanessa Marshall, who plays Hera, Tia, who plays Sabine, myself, and then we have a moderator, John Lee Brody, and then we have like a resident, we call him our fact checker genius. He's fantastic. It's JC Reifenberg. He's just Star Wars fanatic who knows all, and at the end of every episode, he's our encyclopedia that corrects all of our wrongs.
Or your Wikipedia.
Yes, Wikipedia, exactly.
Yep. Well, I'd like to thank you. I think they can find you on your socials.
Find me on socials, Instagram, it's TaylorGray3, and I'm on Twitter as well, but I don't even know what my Twitter is. or X now. That's how out of touch I am with the,
Yeah, it's Twitter X. It'll always be Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.